Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Weeknights. I am JD Nero, aka He Who Pods, aka Rearview Mirror.
AKA JD from Brooklyn. We see you with the hoodie
Yeah,
on. Do you have Tim's
that's
on?
no,
And
no, I
some
do
really
not.
dark blue jeans
No, I do not.
that are so stiff you could cut them with a knife?
Mm, no one should wear jeans like that. But
You remember the dudes they used to wear the really really sturdy denim? It was always dark blue. They would wear with the Tims, and the denim always looked like you could just with a knife.
the problem with wearing really dark blue things with Tims is sometimes those really dark blue things bleed
Bleed. Mm-hmm.
onto your
You're right.
Tims,
You're right.
and now your constructions need construction.
You're right. That is so true. Anyway,
I don't know who you are.
I'm Dash, aka Dashing D, aka the real king of R&B, aka cool grandma, but not really. Yep, that's me.
All right. Well,
AKA shimmy
our girl done
shoulders.
did it again. I don't know what just happened. But okay.
I said AKA shimmy shoulders.
Yeah, that's you. Um our girl Kalani is at it again.
Kehlani, she's out in the streets, and apparently she was in the studio.
Kaylani Kaylani performed on Kimmel. I think it was Kimmel. Pretty sure it was Kimmel. Kaylani did one of the late night shows, embodied it. Tell them what else.
Brandy brought her out on the Boys Mind tour. I believe they were in Houston, but don't quote me on that. Um, I put two and two together. I didn't actually look it up, what city they were in, but I believe it was Houston based on context clues. Now, she brought her out. I thought it was really cute. There's a video actually that I sent you. But you probably haven't seen it yet. But she actually had someone come and bring a huge bouquet of flowers, and she wanted to give Brandy her flowers. She gave Brandy so much praise, and she reminded everyone that Brandy is the vocal Bible, and she
That's
said
right.
that Brandy doesn't get enough flowers, and she feels that Brandy deserves to get her flowers every day for being one of the best. She might have even said the best vocalist of our time. So yeah, it was dope. But she was able to perform. They have the folded remix. I only put it in quotes because I know how you feel about it. So, which it's still my favorite. But um, yeah. So she's been out there in the streets. But then today she dropped a little Lucy on us too, which I thought was
She
dope.
sure did. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
me too. So Kaylani dropped Out the Window today. And we're here to review it, folks.
She's talking that stuff. She sounds great. She sounds great. I mean, listen, wow. She has from the first time we talked about her on, it might have even been that other show we used to do. From the first time we've talked about her, she's definitely grown on me,
Mhm.
particularly because I hadn't been so familiar with her at the time. But
Right.
man, I think she's doing great, and I think she sounds great. The song, I loved it. I listened to it one time and I was like, "Oh, let me listen to this again. Let me run this back." She sounds great. Y'all know how I feel about that. I think it's really important for it to be pleasing to the ear. It's got to be pleasing to the ear, and she sounds beautiful. Yeah, and like I said, she was talking that talk, so I appreciated that too. You know, I picked up what she was putting down. What did you think?
It seems that Kehlani has found the groove. Um, one of the things I've always liked about Kehlani is that she has range, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this was almost the same tempo as Folded.
Yeah,
And I feel like she saw the success of
I
Folded and
folded.
was like, oh, y'all digging that? Let me give y'all something else in that little like mid-range tempo.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and she did great. It was an interesting record to hear from Kehlani. Um, I was getting like some Jasmine Sullivan vibes.
I can see that. Yeah,
And so, but I liked it. I thought it was a cool record. And yeah, accountability in the record, you know,
yeah.
gotta have some accountability in the record. And I
Listen, sometimes
appreciate
people
that.
make mistakes.
And that's what she said. She said, listen, I messed up.
Yeah.
And I was foul. But but like give me a chance though. You know what I'm saying? Let me make it right.
But she also said, I understand if I don't get another chance. She said that too, which I
Right.
respected. I was like, you know what, girl, you're right. Because sometimes you're just not going to get another one. That's that's real.
Sometimes Sometimes hey, a wild out.
She basically was like,
Sometimes go ahead.
she basically was like, well, I got to try, but I might miss.
Right.
And, that's real. That's real. I feel like we've all been there. So,
We have all been there where sometimes you just wild out way too much. And you gotta let them know, hey, I would love another shot. But because I wild out, I understand if you don't give me one.
she said a little too late. And I was like, yeah, sometimes it's a little too late. That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah. So I
So,
thought this was great. I don't really have anything bad to say. There's one note, if I'm being super picky, there's one note she hits in the hook that I was like, I don't know about this note. But she doesn't stay there long, so I guess it's fine.
yeah.
And
I
again,
mean,
I'm just being super picky when I say that. I'm only trying to give some criticism because really there's not much criticism to give here, in my opinion.
when you're the resident musician, you gotta give a little criticism on if the note was wrong.
I
If you
feel
felt
like
like
that's
the
what
note
people are
wasn't
looking
right.
for when I do mine. Right. I
Yeah.
feel like people are looking for me to be nitpicky and be the harsh critic that I have a reputation for being, but I don't really have a lot of bad things to say here. Like,
I mean, they know that I'm the heart of the reviews and you're the head of the reviews. So they know that.
all
They
right.
know that. But sometimes it just is what it is. You gotta, you say what's on your mind and that's it. And if you don't have a whole lot of technical things to say, like, oh, did you hear when the violin, when they hit that C, you know? Sometimes,
You love you love to pick on me about the instrumentation.
sometimes it's not about the instrumentation, This
Yeah.
time it wasn't
Yeah.
about the
Sometimes it's not.
instrumentation. So, and
Nah.
that's fine. That's okay. But yeah, like when the strum of the guitar, not today. Not today, but I'm sure when we do the next music review, you're gonna be like, "Did you hear that bass though? Was that a
I do
cellist
have a
in the
review.
background?"
It's funny you say that because I was listening to a song. I won't name the song. I was listening to a song just this week, excuse me. It's a new song, but they flipped a sample that we've heard flipped a bunch of times, and I immediately started thinking about all those type of things. I was like, oh, but you could have did this, and why didn't you do that? We all know, oh, man, and yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something and now I can't remember. Oh, I know. I was gonna say. I was gonna say like a good
Neighbor,
wine or maybe a
State
good.
Farm is. I screwed that up. That's what happens when clowning goes wrong.
Exactly, because it's like a good neighbor.
State Farm is there, but I couldn't even get State Farm out. It came out way.
It's not State Farm.
Oh, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Is that not State Farm? Don't do this. I work in advertising. And in fact, I work with State Farm.
Oh, you're right. I'm wrong. It is State Farm. I'm wrong. Listen, when you're wrong, and I'm wrong.
I'm never mad at
Um, I was just gonna say the song grows on you. Like the first play was not as good as the second play, and the second play was cool, but the third play it really settled in for me. Um,
Yes.
and so I feel like this is one of those records that will grow on people as well. Even though it's a good song, some records you're not sure when you first hear it. You're like,
Yeah.
I don't even really like this. But then conditioning gets you to be like, okay, yeah, right, I'm digging this. I feel like this was already cool on the first listen, and then the second, third was like, ooh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. And like I said, she was talking that talk. I appreciate her for that. And we love some
Yeah.
good R&B over here. So
And we also love pop. And so
dirty pop.
one of the things we've been waiting for a long time finally came out. And that is the Michael biopic teaser trailer.
I both love and hate teaser trailers.
I know. I knew you were going to say that. I knew that would be the first thing you said. Because I know how you feel about them.
It's like it's not enough. I feel like they should have just said we're introducing Jafar, and then I would have been like, oh, okay, cool, because that's really what this was. They were just introducing us to the main character, the person who's going to play the main character. That's what it felt like to
Totally,
me. Hmm,
totally disagree.
that's fine. Also, my problem with teaser trailers is my problem with teaser trailers versus regular trailers. A teaser trailer is not enough, and a regular trailer is too much. What is the in between
Sometimes.
thing? Maybe we could call it like a trailer tease instead, and then it'll be a little bit more. It'll be a little bit extra. Give me a little bit more. Right? Where was Nia
So you're
Long?
saying
I want to see
you
her.
want
Where?
90 seconds, not 2 minutes.
I don't want 2 minutes. I want 60 seconds, honestly, but I want a solid
This was
60
60
seconds.
seconds.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
I want a solid 60 seconds. I think this was fine as a teaser. But I want to see more is what I'm saying. So I think that the next one, I don't want it as long as 2 minutes. No, thank you. But give me something that is 60 seconds and, shows me a little bit more. Like I'm ready to see the other characters. I want to, I want to show me some of the, y'all gave us a long list of people who are going to be in this movie. Show me a little bit more. Show me. I want to see. Let me see something. Okay. Let me see something. I'm excited about it. Are you excited about it?
No, finish, please.
This we're doing a podcast. I figured I'd
We're
ask you a question
doing
so
a
we can have a
podcast.
conversation. So
Nigga
we can
got
have a
some nerve.
conversation.
This nigga got some nerve. You know
We're
what? Let me
having a
put on my
conversation, or
vitiligo
at least
cream because,
this is ridiculous. Because I'm trying to include you in the conversation. You talk about how you're done.
well, first of all, nigga, do you know how the movie industry works? Give me a
Yes,
solid
I
60
do.
seconds on the next one. They're not going to give you a solid 60 seconds. They're going to give you 2 minutes because that's the way the industry is set up. They're
which
not
is
going to give you
fine.
60 seconds again.
I understand that, but I'm just giving you my opinion. They don't have to do it. I'm saying what I would like for them to do, and that's fine. I'm not here to change to turn the movie industry upside down. That's not at all what's happening here. I am giving my opinion of what I would like to see. And I was trying to explain that my problem with the 2 minute trailers is that then you show us the whole movie, and I don't want to see the whole movie. There, I can't think of any right now, but there are trailers that exist. And I feel like we got them more years ago, not now. But there were trailers that existed where you just watched the trailer and you didn't know what was going to happen in the movie, but you were excited that the movie was coming because it was a great trailer. I just want that again. I just want to get back to that where we could watch, even if it is 2 minutes, where we could watch it and I can't tell you the whole movie, but I can tell you the movie's gonna be great, or at least I think so. That's my frustration. When we get that 2 minutes, they give us every single thing. They're gonna tell us the date he signed his contract. They're gonna tell us when he fell down on the stage. They're gonna tell us all the intimate details of the movie that we want to see and discover on our own. And that is what I would like them to get away from doing that. We talk about it all the time where you see a trailer and you're like, I just saw the whole movie, didn't I? That's all I'm saying. I thought my co-host would understand. I was wrong.
Sure, I understand the issues with the movie industry and the way they cut trailers. That is not our topic. Our topic is the teaser trailer. What did you think about the teaser trailer?
Did I not? I'm confused.
You said like one sentence and then talked about what you want next time.
Okay.
Where's
I
where's what you thought about this one?
I said I thought it was cool. I thought it was a great introduction to Jafar. I said I thought that I said I'm excited to see what's gonna happen next. I would like to see more, like get more excited about it. It looks like what you would want a good biopic to look like. We've got, him in the studio. We've got him performing. We've got him on the road, It's got the elements. He looks as much as a person could look like another person, he looks the part of Michael Jackson. The one thing I will say, the one qualm I had, and this can't be fixed, and you'll say that too. He's not Michael Jackson, right? And when you're so familiar with someone, it's really, really hard to hear that person's voice because some of it you could tell is like they probably used AI or something to use Michael Jackson's voice or just had audio of Michael Jackson already. That trips me out
I don't think
sometimes.
so.
You don't think so? There was a piece where I was like, that's Michael's voice, isn't it? You think that's his voice? It looked
No.
weird. It didn't. There was one point where I was looking at it, and I could look at it again, like off pod. But there was one point where I was looking at it, and I was like, it doesn't, like the face and the voice don't match. And maybe that was just the way they
It
did
could
the
just be
voiceover for the
yeah, it
for the
could just be
trailer.
that. I think he's killing it so far. I think in this teaser trailer, it looks like he studied and practiced and did all the things necessary to make a grand entrance. I mean, listen,
And he's
I don't
Ken.
act. Yeah, I'm about to say it. I don't act, but that's his nephew. And so he is the person that has been chosen to
Hmm.
be Mike. I don't
Hmm.
I don't even know what that kind of pressure feels like. But based
Of
on this
course,
trailer, it looked like he's about to deliver.
I think so. I'm not mad. The only thing I'm saying is there was a moment where it was like the face and the voice didn't match. But as far as the look, he looks the part. And he looks like he's doing it.
I mean,
I
I
I
mean
didn't I
everything,
didn't
like
yeah. I didn't see anything wrong with what was presented to us as far as the character goes and the way they dressed him, the way he was dancing, all of that. I thought that was great. That's why I'm saying I'm excited. Let me see more. What y'all gonna talk about? Because we saw the Jackson 5 movie.
Yes, we did.
All right, and it had,
Yes, we
some
did.
very interesting information in there. I want to know, like I'm excited about what they're gonna talk about in this one. It's taking them forever. I'm
Yeah,
worried
I'm
that it's not even
curious.
coming out on April 24th.
Oh, I think it will.
Okay. It
I
just
think
got
it
pushed
will.
back so many times that, you know.
Yeah, there was some issues, that's for sure. But I think with something this big, that's gonna happen. I think there's only a couple people who are this big of an icon,
Mhm.
especially as a solo act.
Mhm.
So you got to make sure that it's right before you put it out.
Agreed.
And I think this teaser trailer was a good start. I think that now that they've put a date out there, it's gonna be hard to push it back, but so much like maybe instead of April, it's May. But I don't think now that we got a teaser trailer, you could go from April to December. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
I don't think they could do all of that. But I think it looks good. It looks exciting. They made sure to remind us that the person involved with Bohemian Rhapsody is involved in this.
Mhm.
They made sure to
Which is
remind us
great.
that Antoine Fuqua, yep, yep. They made sure to remind us that Antoine Fuqua is directing. And so I think those two are a good team. I think between what we've seen from Bohemian Rhapsody, and if I remember correctly, they were also involved in the Whitney movie. I
Mhm.
could be wrong, but that's what, if my memory serves me correct, they were involved in the Whitney movie. And then now Mike, I think they have a good track record, and Antoine gets busy. So I think that this is a good teaser. Now again, trailers can be deceiving. This could come out and be terrible, but based on this teaser trailer, it doesn't look like that.
No, I don't think it'll be
So
terrible.
I am curious about. We'll see. I don't think it will be. If I had to put money on it, I would say no. But we don't know until it comes out. Um, Now I am curious how far back they're gonna go. I am curious, is this gonna be most of his life, or is this gonna be a segment of his career? I prefer the movies that are most of the life. I
Hmm.
am not a big fan of when they just do a small segment. Like that was my main criticism of the Bob Marley movie.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about it up here, but that's also my main criticism of this new Bruce Springsteen movie, which we didn't talk about.
Hmm.
But there's a Jeremy White Bruce Springsteen movie, which is excellent. But my beef there is the same. It's mostly a small time period of this person's life, and I feel like then don't call it a biopic. And so I'm hoping they don't do that with Michael. You know, the Whitney movie made sure to cover a large portion of Whitney's life, pretty much all
Yeah.
of Whitney's life. Um, or rather career, I guess you could say, because maybe we didn't see her be a baby, right? But we did see all of her career. And so, similar with the Bohemian Rhapsody movie, right? We saw
Hmm.
Freddie Mercury, becoming part of the band all the way till the last concert.
Yeah.
So, I'm hoping that they do not do a small segment of his career, but I'm
Mhm.
curious because those we did see childhood stuff, but that could just be a quick
Yeah.
flashback. We don't know.
Right.
And I think the
Well, I
challenge
hope.
is also going to be.
No, I was just gonna say, well, I hope they don't do that. That was my issue with the Bob Marley movie. I didn't really love the flashbacks. I'd have preferred to see it in chronological order. So I don't really, I don't have an interest in watching, Michael performing at the AMAs and then seeing a Jackson 5 scene right after that. I don't want to see that. But
yeah. I was gonna say the issue that they are gonna have is, I don't know the runtime for this movie, but if it's not 3 hours, it's gonna be challenging to cram all of his life and career into just one film, because Mike was like, what, 7 when he became Jackson 5 member, or 6? I mean, he was young as hell is the point. Maybe I'm wrong with the age, but the point is Michael Jackson was young as hell when he joined Jackson 5. So to go from there all the way to right before his death is going to be a challenge. I'm curious how they're going to do that. But this got me excited. This got me ready to watch it. So I'm excited, and I want to see the real trailer now. As give me the full 2 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I dig that.
Now, there is someone we have to discuss before we go.
Yeah, we do.
Just the other day, we spoke very highly of a man named Chris Columbus.
Not the other one.
Right. For those who don't know, because I didn't know, Chris Columbus did the original #1 only Gremlins. Okay? He also did The Goonies.
The Goonies.
And he also did Home Alone
1 and 2.
Yep. He did The Goonies. He directed The Goonies and Home Alone. And he was saying just the other day, for those who didn't see it, you can go back and look it up on our channel, but we spoke about how Chris Columbus said there's no way that they can do the same quality film and give the same and capture the same vibes today that they did all those years ago for Home Alone 1 and 2. That doing a sequel today would just be a bad idea.
Right.
Well, folks,
he said that.
This comes from The Hollywood Reporter. The Hollywood Reporter says, Gremlins 3, Final Destination duo Zach Lipivsky, Adam B. Stein joined Chris Columbus to write script. It said Columbus is on board to also direct the new sequel to the Warner Brothers 1984 classic, which the studio dated on Thursday for a 2027 release. It says the directing duo behind the summer's horror hit Final Destination Bloodlines have teamed up with Chris Columbus to write the new feature installment of Gremlins, Warner Brothers horror comedy franchise featuring little mischievous monsters, The Hollywood Reporter has learned. It says the development occurs as the feature project moves full steam ahead at Warner's, with the studio announcing Thursday on an earnings call that it is dating the movie for November 19th, 2027. I want to skip ahead to some quotes here from our man, Chris Columbus.
Your guy, you were really, you were on his side the other day.
I was on his side. Past tense. Yes.
All right. Yep.
It says, in talks about his return to Gremlins, Columbus said to The Hollywood Reporter, quote, I'm filled with a tremendous surge of inspiration and passion as I embark on this cinematic journey. It's an honor to reunite with Steven Spielberg and Warner's as we bring the latest chapter of Gremlins to a brand new generation of moviegoers who will experience all of the thrills of this grand adventure on the big screen. Few titles are as beloved and iconic as Gremlins, and we're beyond... That's an ad. Please hold. How do I get rid of this ad? Oh, this is crazy. Wow, Hollywood Reporter, that was gangster. Just messed up my whole podcast. Wow. All right. Sorry about that. I have to actually reload the whole thing here. Few titles are as beloved and iconic as Gremlins, and we're beyond excited to bring back for both lifelong fans and a whole new generation, said Jesse Ehrman, Warner's president of development and production. It's a privilege to be working alongside Steven Spielberg, Chris Columbus, and the entire creative team as we look forward to the audiences experiencing the magic, mayhem, and heart of the Gremlins on the big screen in 2027. Chris Columbus, what the fuck? Exactly. See,
Okay.
even my podcast equipment said, "What the fuck?"
Oh, all right. All right, let's get into it. Tell us why you mad.
This nigga just said, just the other day, that there's no reason we should be doing a sequel 25 years later to Home Alone. So what happened? Because somebody else called you to do a different sequel that you was part of? You said, "Oh yeah, I'm down." This is this is highly hypocritical. This is hypocrisy in its highest form. How you gonna bash one franchise that you were a part of only to run back to the other one? Because money talks, right? That's the real reason. I said last week Chris Columbus should change his name. I realize now, no, he shouldn't. No, he shouldn't.
Okay.
Because he too. I'm not gonna finish my sentence. You know what I was gonna say.
Yes, I do know what you were gonna say. Okay, so I do think there's a world in which the answer is different for two different franchises. I could see a person saying, there's room for more story um, for one film, and there isn't room for more story in the other film. So maybe that's what's happening here. I don't know if I think that's hypocritical. I also don't recall if he specifically said you just shouldn't do things like that, because there's some people who have a very strong stance that that sequels are trash always, and that's just that. I don't necessarily know that. What I do think, though, I agree with you. I think money talks, and for the right price, anybody can make a sequel, can get wrap their head around making a part three to something. I also wonder if he's a little salty because he didn't do Home Alone 3.
And he didn't do Gremlins 2, which is the better one, by the way.
Well, there's also that. But for whatever reason, he is signing on for number 3. So maybe there's more things happening behind the scenes that we just simply don't know. Because that is also a factor. Part of that is money, but part of that could be the relationships. It could be creative differences. There could be a lot of factors that drove him to say, you know what, we should just leave Home Alone alone. But Gremlins seems like a good idea, you know? So I do understand that. And I respect that. I, I don't know. This conversation about giving to the younger generation is complicated. And I think you said it best the other day. You could just watch what already exists.
That's
That's the
it.
great thing about media, and that's the great thing about new media and where we are today. You can access pretty much anything.
Right.
So you can watch an older movie. You don't need millions of dollars to be spent for it to be remade or reimagined just to get the original feel of something. You could just watch the thing that already exists, because guess what? It exists.
Right.
That is also a possibility. Now, I understand that there are absolutely opportunities for making things anew, and people take advantage of those opportunities. But I would love to see the stats on how often something gets reimagined or a sequel comes along 20 years later, 30 years later, and the new generation that they keep talking about actually cares. Like, I want to see how much they actually care about that, because I'm sure that there are some who are very interested. But listen, I don't know how all of y'all feel, but I do know that my niece likes the original Mean Girls better than the one that came out most recently, right? So I, I think this whole idea that we're doing these things because, the younger generations need their own version. I don't know that they all think that they need their own version. Good art is good art.
Right.
Good and I shouldn't even say good art, that's subjective. Good entertainment will still be good. Good entertainment tends to be classic. It tends to transcend generations. Like, if it is good, it's always going to be good. Some things may not age well, and that's a different conversation. And that's where I think the real conversation is about the new generation. Certain things don't age well, and they don't have respect for certain things. They will tell you straight up, y'all were bugging when y'all said that y'all liked that show where they were clearly being prejudiced, or they were clearly being racist, or whatever. Like, they're good at calling us out on that and calling us to the carpet on, yeah, y'all thought that was cool, that's not cool. But as far as like something that's good and wholesome and just fun, if people gonna like it, they gonna like it. I don't. And they also have their things too that
Yeah.
weren't a part of our generation, but just new things. That's
Yeah.
okay. It's so frustrating to me because it's like, first of all, don't blame them. They didn't ask for this. They didn't ask you for a Gremlins 3. The new generation.
Nobody
Get
did.
out of here.
No
Please.
one did.
No.
No one did. And that's the
No.
thing, right? The thing is, this is why I'm saying he's full of shit. Now, I just looked at his IMDb. The man is not short of work. He has been directing and producing for eons, and he's given us some classics. I
I
didn't
also
even
thought
know
they
his
say he doesn't
his.
work anymore. Sorry.
I don't know where you read that, but
Hmm.
um,
I'll double check that.
yeah, I didn't even know some of this stuff was in his filmography. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
he's done some bangers on the
Yeah, yes.
directing and the producing side. So I'm not
Hmm.
shitting on him. But this decision to do this when you just said there's no way we could recapture the feeling and reproduce something as high quality for Home Alone, nigga, what made Gremlins different? Nothing. That paycheck, you full of shit.
You're right.
That's it. I'm putting my flag in the soil.
You do what you gotta do.
That's it. That's my stance.
All right. Well, that's really it for me. I don't have anything to say. I didn't realize I was gonna get so fired up about that.
Sometimes you gotta get fired up.
Hmm. Close out
Ladies
the
and
show.
gentlemen, this has been Weeknights. Thank you for being here.
Because we both looked at each other like, all right, what now? You good? Do you want to do more show or no? So it was time for somebody to say something. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you on Monday. Bye.